Hey everybody, my name is Philip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're going to be talking about 5 kind of weird, interesting businesses that are located right here in Northwest Arkansas. So let's talk about that. But before we begin, if you could like this video and also subscribe, that would make the world of difference. I really appreciate when you guys do that because it makes sure my content goes to the right people at the right time looking to move to Northwest Arkansas. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. And the first business that we're going to be talking about is located right in Rogers, and it is called the Anime Cafe. So obviously anime has grown in popularity for the last 10 years or so. So anime's become way more mainstream thanks to Netflix, thanks to Crunchyroll, thanks to Funimation. These are all streaming platforms that have made anime more accessible from the Japanese culture to American culture. And so over the last decade or so, anime has grown substantially. And so these anime cafes have just kind of exploded all around America. And one of them landed right here in Rogers. So if you do check out the Anime Cafe, they have all sorts of anime things located right in there, but also they do a lot of bubbly tea and all sort of Japanese culture right in Rogers. So if you are coming down to Northwest Arkansas, maybe you're students or kids, or maybe you are really into anime, definitely check out the Anime Cafe because it's really fun to check out. They have great food there and great kind of obviously bubbly tea and different food products. But it's just fun to see all of kind of your favorite anime shows on the walls with shirts and different things like that. So it's kind of like your own people group that you hang around with talking about anime and different things like that. Definitely check out the Anime Cafe. That's where you're going to find all the fun things. So the next business we're going to be talking about is called Blockstreet Records, which has 2 locations, one in Bentonville and also one in Fayetteville. The one in Bentonville is located right next to the Onyx coffee shop, right kind of off the square in Bentonville. And the Fayetteville one is right off of Block Street in Fayetteville, so right off the square. Both locations are so fun to hang out at. So if you are into music at all, either whether it's oldies or even new stuff, you definitely need to check out Block Street because it's just kind of a blast to the past to go on. And I find it super fascinating that in the last probably 5 years, records have just made a huge comeback because of audio fidelity and just kind of unique sound that records hold compared to a digital audio format. And so it's really cool going into these record stores and seeing all the older records and also some of the newer records because a lot of the newer artists produce records and people buy them and use them on their record players. Who'd have thought we'd be going back in time with different technologies? And so you definitely need to check out Blockstreet Records because you might find that little gem that you used to know back in the past or used to grow up with. You might find that gem right at Blockstreet and you can buy and use for your record. That reminds me, I have a 3-day itinerary, so maybe you're thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas and you're realizing there's so much to do down here, because there is. The 3-day itinerary kind of helps you focus on some of those amazing things you can do and accomplish in 3 days. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're into art and culture, maybe you have kids. I made a 3-day itinerary for each one of them. So go ahead and download it, linked below, download them, use them, and just enjoy all of Northwest Arkansas. And when you do come down here, definitely give me a call because I can give you the $10 tour and we can check out some homes when you come down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third business we're going to be talking about, I've talked about quite a few times on my channel. It's also part of my 3-day itinerary, which is Akadia Retrocade. Going back to that whole back to the past kind of vibe we're going on, you definitely need to check out the Retrocade because of the fact that it is hundreds and hundreds of arcade games located right in Fayetteville. So if you want to drop your kids off or if you want to hang out with your kids or just go yourself, all it is $5 to get in the door and you have basically all day you can hang out there. There's hundreds of arcade games all across basically 2 buildings. They're so fun because it's kind of a throwback and maybe these arcade games you've never heard of, but it's definitely fun to check out because there's gonna be some old ones that you do know, some new ones that you may have missed. But they have couches, they have N64 there, they have all the different sort of gaming systems that you might like or your kids might like, or maybe you want to show your kids hey, look at what I grew up on. It's totally fun to hang out with, and I would definitely check out the Retrocade when you are coming to Fayetteville. And also the fourth business, kind of staying on the video game route, is called The Grid. So esports, if you don't know what that is, esports is kind of an electronic gaming, online video game, basically sports. And it's a lot of games that people compete online. So maybe you're thinking about games like Fortnite. So Fortnite is kind of like an esports kind of game where people obviously fight and destroy each other on a game. And so what will happen is if you go to the grid, there's all sorts of computers located right in the grid. And so essentially what happens is that you can go there, play any video game you'd really want to. And on top of that, you can play all sorts of tournaments and games with Smash Brothers, Fortnite. They have all sorts of tournaments going on in there all the time. So you definitely need to check out the grid if you have kids or maybe you're into gaming or sports. You definitely need to check out the grid because it is the esports place to check out in Fayetteville. And the last business that's kind of unique and interesting and fun and weird around Northwest Arkansas is Terra Studios. So I'm going to kind of read what Terra Studios is about. It's a fun place. It's 6 acres. It's like an art studio dedicated for 6 acres between sculptures and everything else. And if you want to have classes there, if you want to experience art, or just kind of walk around the whole gardens, you definitely need to check out Terra Studios. Well, let me read about what they actually say on the website. So Terra Studios is a 6 beautiful acre park with garden sculptures, murals, sparkling glass, and fantasy creatures. So if you're looking for experiences or anything else like that, you definitely need to check out Terra Studios because they have a great place to hang out and there's great food there. There's like a snack bar and all sorts of different things to hang out and check out. So if you're kind of in that art and culture scene and you want to check out maybe something on the east side of Fayetteville, you definitely need to check out Terra Studios. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Really appreciate you guys watching. Again, if you are coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itinerary link below. You know, maybe you're into culture, art, sports, or your adventure. The 3-day itinerary will just help you make sure you do some of the most amazing things in Northwest Arkansas when you come down. And also, when you do come down here, definitely give me a call because I can give you the $10 tour and we can see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.